is the March office hours for the Simplest Marketing Plan. We're in 2024. This is the third month in the first quarter. And this is when people start to trail off, right? They were gung ho in January and still excited in February, but March is like, all right, now the real work really is starting to happen. So this morning I was thinking just that there's really nothing better, almost nothing better than a really good teacher. And a really good teacher is someone who believes in the power of the work that they're doing. And you can really feel it, and it's contagious, and it makes you want to follow them anywhere they go. But that's not my main point. My main point is that, I hadn't been out of the country in a long time. I can't even remember the last time I left the country. And while I was in Costa Rica, it occurred to me was this idea that marketing your business is like traveling to a foreign country. You feel like an outsider. You don't speak their language. The customs are different. It's easy to make a faux pas. The currency is totally different. There's so many different ways it is like a foreign country. It was just like flooding through me. And then I thought a good teacher is like having an excellent tour guide in that foreign country who speaks the language and knows the terrain and knows the customs and knows where the locals hang out. And most importantly, knows how to avoid getting scammed. So I've just started to think of myself as a tour guide in this new country where you can meet better clients with bigger budgets, but you definitely need to know where and how to find them. And so I have a feeling that this metaphor is going to start infiltrating a lot of the work. So I'm just planting the seed here today. But I did want to take you on a tour of a kind of chaotic country, a place online that is called LinkedIn. Have you noticed that LinkedIn is kind of a crazy place? And so I wanted to take you on a bit of a tour there and talk a little bit about the things that have changed because they are constantly changing everything. And it's like one of those governments that doesn't tell you what they're doing, they just do it, right? And so we're going to try to translate a little bit and figure out what's going on. The main things that are changing are this. Number one, they're basically making creator mode tools available to everyone. So you don't have to toggle that switch on and off anymore if you want to use creator tools. And the main one, the one that I think is the most important, is the newsletter. Ultimately, eventually, everyone will be able to create a newsletter on LinkedIn without being in creator mode. And then the other thing, when you were or are in creator mode, your about section got pushed down because they prioritized your activity, your creator activity, your posts essentially, and that came above the about section. Now they're going to put that above section back where it belongs, in my opinion, because that's what people want to know first, and then the activity will come later. And finally, although I'm sure this is not all the changes, but these are the ones I'm sharing with you that I think are the most important. Everyone will automatically have the follow button, not the connect button, unless you change it on your profile and you can make it connect again so that it can be a mutual connection. Otherwise, people will be able to follow you, but you won't be following them unless you follow them back. The really important thing I think you get now with LinkedIn Premium is unlimited personalized invitations to connect. Because now what they've done, for reasons we don't really know, is they have limited you to either 5 or 10. It's different for everyone. Personalized invitations to connect per month, which is nothing, basically. Now, that said, if for some reason you can't afford to pay for it, you don't want to pay for it, you refuse to pay for it, that's fine. There is a workaround. So the workaround is if you have the free version, then you only have 5 or 10 notes that you can personalize. If you use up all your notes, then basically you just invite someone to connect with no note. So what I want to do to show the workaround. So here's a post from Gigi Rosenberg with her latest podcast, which is awesome, by the way, with Patsy Rodenberg. And here's someone who made a comment, right? Linda Williams, who is a second degree. She's not first degree to me. We both have Gigi in common. So I'm going to invite her to connect. But I'm not going to use a note because I'm going to pretend I don't have premium. So first, I'm going to reply to her comment. And she said, this was a very good episode. I don't like the term executive presence. It seems false to me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say something about that, right? I agree, Linda. Everyone has presence, not just executives. Now I could, Carrie's suggestion is, I'll invite you to connect too, right? To write that in the comment. You could do that or you don't have to. I'll do it. Why not? And then I'm going to open in a new tab and then I'm going to invite her to connect without a message, right? So she says follow, but under more, you can find the connect button so that it's mutual. And here again, the option to add a note, but I'm going to send without a note. And the idea is it's a 1-2 punch. She's going to see my comment and she's like, oh, that person is familiar. They made a comment on Gigi's post. Okay, I'm going to accept their invitation. That is the workaround. Bye, y'all.